Hello, Miss Christine. How are we doing today?
Switch the mic. Is that better? Hello,
Hi,
hello. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear
Happy
me?
Monday. I can hear you. Miss Christine, let's hear our win so far from this week.
This morning I was able to do 30 reps each of those Russian twist things,
Let's go. That is
right?
so exciting. We're getting stronger.
Right?
That is a huge win. It is so nice to do exercises and exceed our expectations or get stronger, either whether it's reps or weight, and be like, wow, like I remember when I first started, that was hard, and now you're just crushing it.
Right?
Miss Shelby, I'm at work, so I'll just contribute in the chat. I love it. Thanks for tuning in at work, ladies. I love this. The dedication. I'm gonna listen to stuff while I do stuff. I love it. I love it. And I think we got one more that's supposed to join us today. So while we wait for Miss Lisa to join us, Miss Shelby, let's hear a win from you. And I'm just gonna shoot over a message to Miss Lisa, make sure she's getting in okay. Do, do, do. Lisa, hello. And to make sure you Zoom link for today's live. And win from Shelby. I did my walk today, even though my entire body hurts from my workout yesterday. Let's go. One of the best things for DOMs, especially after a leg day. I know like everything in you does not want to go for a walk after a leg day, but I promise you that blood flow is going to help so much with your recovery. And it's actually loosened up everything and I'm feeling a bit better. So yay, see, there we go. Shelby is living proof that walking after a workout is the best. I love it. I love it. Oh, is Miss Maddie coming? Um, get your peach to the live. All right, ladies. I am going to start sharing my screen. Today's a nice quick one for you ladies, but I'm super excited that we're going to be talking about creatine today. And just out of curiosity, are any of you ladies currently supplementing creatine? No. Yeah, Shelby knows what's up. Shelby, are you currently taking one scoop or two? How much creatine are you taking? One. Okay. So we'll talk a little bit about that today because there's some more research coming out. Because typical, they say like 3 to 5 grams daily, ladies. So workout days, rest days, you want to be taking your creatine daily. Oh, we got Miss Maddie coming on in. I I use Jacked Factory. I think the name of the company is great. Totally buys Jack Factory. Creatine, you want to see monohydrate on there. You're looking for single ingredient in there. So I've had a few clients of mine that had forget what it was called, but it was just like a creatine like mixture of some sort, like a juice. And when we actually looked at the amount of creatine, it was like 1 milligram, which is gonna do fuck all for you. So definitely make sure that when you're getting a supplement that it for creatine specifically, only creatine monohydrate and one scoop should be 5,000 milligrams or 5 grams. So those are what you're looking for when we're searching. This one's off of Amazon, so I can drop the link in the community group chat after today's live. But yeah, Miss Maddie, welcome to today's live. Whether you want to unmute or drop in the chat, I'd love to hear a win from you before we get into today's little creatine lesson. Seems like Monday evenings might be a good time to add in a call too. I love this. I love seeing all your faces. While Maddie shares a win with us, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Doo, doo, doo. Can we see my screen? Present. We can just give me, oh, there's Maddie. A win for me would be getting a delicious salad with chicken today. Heck yes, trying to get my protein seems hard, but small things like that totally add up. Yes, absolutely. Now, did you make the salad yourself or did you like grab it from a restaurant or a grocery store? What did that look like? All right, and minimize the chat there. And oh, I should probably pin myself too. Boop. And pin. And voila. Okay. Okay. So today we are going over the importance of creatine. So we and Maddie as well. She's on the creatine train as well. I love it. So we're gonna convince Miss Christine to join us on the dark side today, I think. So what is creatine? Creatine is actually naturally occurring in your body and it is produced by your liver and kidneys and pancreas. It is mostly stored in your skeletal muscle where it plays a critical role in energy production. So if you have taken creatine in the past, you might notice that you get better workouts when you either take creatine before or during your workouts. And I have found this to be such a huge game changer, not only in our performance, but also our body composition. We might notice more of a pump after our workouts. We might notice that our muscles are looking good after taking some creatine and working out. And there's a reason for this, right? It is going to be bringing water to the muscles so that it can perform better. You get better recovery, you get better performance, and we're going to get all into that today. So it works by rapidly recycling ATP, that is the energy currency of your cells, which allows you to perform quick, explosive movements with greater power and endurance. While creatine is found in red meat and fish, dietary sources alone typically cannot fully saturate your muscle storage to maximize the performance benefits. So, why should you be taking creatine daily? Number one, sustained energy. So, if you're struggling with energy, which I know a lot of us do, I like to add a scoop of creatine into my morning coffee. Game changer. Okay, ladies. So it's going to help with optimizing your muscles to store that creatine to ensure energy peaks available when you need it the most. It's going to help with your performance gains. So it's going to help increase your strength, your explosive power output, and accelerate your recovery in between high intensity training sessions. And this is the number one reason why I actually started taking creatine. So if you have any history of brain injuries, concussions, any type of like chronic injuries with inflammation in the brain, this is going to be your number one best friend because it's going to help enhance memory retention. It's going to sharpen mental focus, improve cognitive stamina during periods of stress or sleep deprivation. So taking creatine after a night that you didn't sleep well can be super, super beneficial. It can really help with brain fog. It can really help with inflammation of the brain. So this was one of the number one recommended supplements when I had gotten my concussion. And then I also noticed that I kind of looked more jacked when I took it. And I was like, okay, I'm into this. And some myths to bust because we hear a lot about creatine, but creatine is actually the most studied supplement out of all of the supplements. There have been decades of research that confirm creatine is safe. If you do have pre-existing kidney conditions, please talk to your doctor first. There is the myth that creatine can harm your kidneys. This has been debunked. It does not harm your kidneys. However, if you already have pre-existing issues, then definitely talk to your doctor first before supplementing. Number two, causes dehydration or muscle cramps. You may actually notice when taking creatine that you are more mindful of drinking water. You might notice some pasties and then you're more like aware of like, oh, I need to drink water. But in terms of like actual dehydration, no. Multiple studies have shown no increased risk. Creatine may actually improve intracellular hydration in muscle cells. And myth number three, creatine is a steroid. It is naturally occurring. It's a naturally occurring amino acid derivative, not a hormone, not an anabolic steroid. So it's natural as a protein source in your food. who should take creatine and who should not. So, ideal candidates, athletes and fitness enthusiasts seeking performance gains. Older adults may be aiming to preserve muscle mass and cognitive function. Anyone looking to just enhance their workout recovery and mental clarity, and individuals with physically or mentally demanding lifestyles. Exercise with caution. So those who may not benefit or should not take creatine. So if you already have pre-existing kidney disease or impaired kidney function, those under medical supervision for chronic health conditions. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, there's not enough research yet there. And then anyone taking any type of medication that's going to affect your kidney function. And again, always consult your healthcare provider if you're unsure whether creatine is the right supplement for you. Some benefits beyond just muscle, brain, and aging. So, cognitive enhancement improves your memory formation, accelerates learning, increases resistance to mental fatigue during demanding cognitive tasks. Number two, healthy aging. It's going to help older adults maintain muscle mass, functional strength, and physical independence while reducing age-related declines and metabolic support. So, emerging research has suggested potential benefits with blood sugar regulation and metabolic health markers. How to take creatine. Practical tips. Choose the right form. Creatine monohydrate is what we want. It is going to be the most researched and cost-effective form. Look for micronized versions for better mixability and absorption. Number two, optional loading phase. So you could take 20 to 25 grams, which would be like 4 to 5 scoops of this, split into 4 doses for 5 to 7 days to rapidly saturate the muscles. This step is optional, but accelerates results if you're looking for body composition changes. Daily maintenance. We're switching to 5 to 10 grams daily for sustainable benefits. You can mix it with water, juice, coffee, post-workout. Doesn't matter. Timing does not matter. But I personally like to do a scoop with my coffee in the morning so it can help me focus on my work. And then when I'm going into my workout, I might add 1 or 2 scoops into my pre-workout as well. Now, there has been some new research. Typically, before they would suggest like 3 to 5 grams per day. But we want to think our muscles are super greedy. It is going to take all 5 of those grams right to the muscle, take all that water, and make that pump look really good. But if you want that cognitive benefit, if you want better clarity, less brain fog, more energy, then that's where I would suggest a double or triple scoop just to help with that creatine not only going to your muscle, but then also going to your brain and giving you those benefits. And number 4, stay consistent. There's no need to cycle off. Continuous daily use is safe, effective, and maintains optimal muscle creatine levels year-round. Some takeaways from today's little creatine lesson. Creatine is safe, it is effective, and it is worth considering as long as you don't have any issues with the kidneys, right? So there have been over 1,000 studies, and it has been one of the most extensively researched and proven safe supplements available today. Multi-system support, daily use benefits muscle, brain, and overall health across all age groups. Smart usage, but bust the myths, understand who benefits the most, and implement evidence-based dosing strategies. And your next steps. Are you ready to boost your energy and performance? Creatine might be the game changer for you. And I'll stop sharing my screen. Do we have any questions today, ladies? And your questions could be related to today's lesson or it could be completely off topic, so don't feel limited. Do you find it can be grainy? Yes. Yeah, I find it's very chalky. So that's where I found I started mixing it with my pre-workout, not only because I wanted that extra boost from the pre-workout, but I found that when I was putting in just water, if I was only using like a shaker bottle, that I did find that it could get a little bit grainy at the bottom. So I always make sure to shake it throughout my workout or before when I am drinking it. Or I just like to mix it with other stuff. So typically like my concoction is I'll do like a scoop of creatine, I'll do a scoop of pre-workout, and then I'll do a scoop of collagen all in one. So it's like I'm not having to deal with like multiple drinks. It's just all the powders in one. And then if I have a little bit too much, then I'm just like chug that last little bit. So it doesn't matter when you take it, right? I put mine in my post-workout shake because I cannot do the grainy texture. No, timing does not matter. However, if you want the most benefit from creatine in your workouts, I would suggest doing before your workout or during for the most, like if you want performance based personally. But if you're just looking for like maintenance and like brain and cognitive health, like then it really doesn't matter. But if you want performance boost, then I would suggest before or after workout. If you're having a morning coffee, again, like I have added that into my coffee and I have not even noticed it. And I find there's a lot less liquid in my coffee than there would be in a shaker. I don't know if it's because it's warm or what, but I've never noticed it grainy in my coffee. I try to mix it in warm water. Yeah, that might even make a difference. So maybe that's why I'm not noticing it in my coffee is the warmness makes it less grainy. I don't know. I'm just gonna guess. Does creatine itself change when it's left too long in water? What do you mean by does it change? I've noticed. Oh,
Well, okay, hey.
hey,
Well, Grace and I were talking about creatine, and she said that if it's left too long, that like I can't even describe like the chemical structure, or it like turns into a different type of like monohydrate or something. I don't know. I didn't even fact check it. I was just curious.
hmm.
Not even
Not
sure.
that I'm aware of, but I don't want to answer on that one either because I don't know. That's not something I've heard of, but I would definitely be interested in looking into that because I'm curious. I haven't heard anything personally, but I could be wrong and there could be something along with that. But yeah, I can't answer that one, unfortunately. I might try it in my tea. Yeah, let me know how it goes in your tea. I'm curious. Anyone else have any other questions for today? And again, it doesn't have to be related to creatine. If you have any questions on like anything else, health, fitness related, needing any guidance, any support, that's what I'm here for. Okay. Seems like we're all good today, ladies. I'm curious, how are we setting ourselves up for success this week? What is our goal by like Sunday? How do we want to feel? What's like our number one goal by Sunday that we're like, if I did this all week, or if I showed up and I did this, like this week would be a win. I would love to hear from you ladies. What would make this week a win for you? Shelby, I may reach out to you about doing a loading phase because I'm wanting to see the gains. Yeah, heck yeah, let's go, Shelby. And there has been like a lot of research recently where it was up to like 30 or 40 milligrams that they had done in the research of daily dosage. And how that contributed to cognitive health specifically. Because again, that first like 5-ish grams are going to go straight to the muscle. And then once those are saturated, then your brain is going to get those benefits. Hitting the protein goal. Let's go, Miss Maddie. How are you going to set yourself up for success so that hitting your protein goal is not a question? It's a matter of like, what do I need to eat today, right? What are the exact things that I need to do to set myself up for success? And so like when I'm meal prepping, I'm like, okay, each meal has to have a minimum of 30 grams of protein. And if it doesn't, then I'm like, how can I boost this? Can I add half a cup of cottage cheese? Also, side note, um, forget the amount of difference, but if you're getting cottage cheese, go for the 1%. This guy here. Less calories, more protein, and you don't need to eat as much cottage cheese. I don't know about you girls. I don't love cottage cheese, but I do love how much protein's in it. So if I like make like some eggs and toast or whatever, I know that even though I'm using egg whites, I'm still not gonna get enough protein just from eggs unless I want to eat a shit ton of eggs, which I don't because texture. So then I just add a half a cup of cottage cheese, which this bad boy has 17 grams. 17 grams. I forget what the other one had, but it was less protein and more calories for only 110 calories. And one quick side note too, if you girls are looking at like high protein options, if you're looking at like a protein bar or something that is like quote unquote protein, the way that you can tell if something is quote unquote high protein is look at the grams of protein. So this here, for example, has 17 grams of protein. And so then if I add a zero at the end, 170. I want to make sure that whatever it is has less than 170 calories for that protein. And so this has 110 calories. So I'm 60 calories under what would be like my max. So this is a great source of protein. Versus, let's say I look at my egg whites. So I got 10 grams of protein. So I'd want no more than 100 calories for this to be a good source of protein. Well, for 100 grams, it is 45 calories. So that's less than 100. Great source of protein. Versus, let's look at this flatbread pizza. This is gonna be a good one. So if I look at, by the way, I don't know how this pizza, like it is a meat pizza, but it is quite loaded in protein for a pizza. Safeway, I love these little flatbread pizza. They're like my little treat. 46 grams of protein for this entire pizza, which is quite significant. But is it a good source of protein? Well, I would not want this pizza to be more than 460 calories. This entire pizza is 750 calories. Not my best investment, but I can use balance, right? So am I gonna maybe eat half this pizza? And then maybe I might combine it with something like a side of cottage cheese, where it's low calorie, high protein. And I think, yes, absolutely, balance is key, because when we restrict too much, what happens? It's not sustainable. Like, the moment we cut all of our joy out of life, all we think about is, oh, I can't wait till this diet is done. And that's not what I'm trying to teach you, ladies. I don't want our nutrition to be based on diet. I want it to be based on eating foods that we love that are nutrient dense. And so we're thinking about, where can I invest my calories to get the best bang for my buck? Where can I spend the least amount of calories for the most amount of protein and fiber? And that's why it's so helpful to look at the nutritional facts and have a little bit of knowledge of going, okay, is this going to be a good investment? And do we always make great investments? No, we spend money on things that we probably shouldn't. We spend too much money on things that we're like, oop, shopping spree, probably not a great idea, right? Like, we've all been there. We've all made poor investments, or we look back and we're like, maybe that wasn't the best investment, right? And so the same thing with our food. We're going to make quote unquote poor investments over time. And it's looking at that balance of, is the majority of our decisions mindful? Are we setting ourselves up for success? And are we making decisions that are aligned with our goal? If our goal is to save money and we're spending money every single day and we're spending more money than we're making, it's going to be extremely hard for us to save money. Same thing with our fitness goals. If we're looking to burn fat, we need to be in a caloric deficit. If we continuously eat in a surplus, we're not going to get to that goal, right? It doesn't matter how many days you spend in the gym. If you are not focusing on the nutrition aspect, it's going to make it incredibly more difficult over time for you to get there. And it's going to take a lot longer. Goals, Miss Shelby, workouts done, 8K steps a day. That's my win. Let's go, Miss Shelby. Protein pasta is my new fave thing. I love that. Which one were you doing again? Are you doing like the lentil? I feel like I've asked you this before. You might have sent it to me. And how much protein is in a serving? I'm curious for that one. Yes, the Cadillac. Yes, I think you did send me a photo of that one. I want to check it out. I'm personally not a big like pasta fan, but I would love to have some on deck just for those days that I might make a pasta for, can't remember how much protein, but my kids eat it, so that's a win. I love that. I love that, where we could sneak it in. I remember my mom was on this huge health kick as a kid, and she would try to like, I don't remember who it was, but this one like girl was like on Dr. Oz or whatever, and she was talking about how all these recipes that you can sneak vegetables and fruits into all these recipes, and she made, was it black bean brownies? I like refuse to eat them for the longest time. I'm like, there's no way that I'm eating brownies with black beans. That sounds disgusting. And then one day I actually caved and I tried it. And I was like, that is the most delicious thing I've ever tried. Like, that is amazing. So there are some really cool ways that you can start to sneak in fiber or protein, especially for picky eaters. I refuse to make separate meals. Honestly, yeah, that's makes your life so much easier. And if you can get Raina also on board with some of the foods that you're eating, like how exciting, right? Like that. I love that. I love that. Oh, this has been so much fun, ladies. I love hopping on these live calls with you and engaging with you all and connecting with you. if you have any more questions or concerns, please don't hesitate. Otherwise, I will let you ladies go and enjoy the rest of your beautiful Mondays. Thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your precious day and spending 25 minutes with me going over the benefits of creatine. Thank you, Miss Maddie, for joining. Ah, this has been so lovely. And trying to think. Oh, I want to mention something else, but I totally forget. Oh well, if it comes to me, I'll shoot it in the group. But otherwise, enjoy the rest of your beautiful Mondays, ladies. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.